the Republican leader in the House had to say in January about the president and January 6th?
The president bears responsibility for Wednesday's attack on Congress by mob rioters. He should have immediately denounced the mob when he saw what was unfolding. These facts require immediate action by President Trump. Accept his share of responsibility.
You heard him say the facts require immediate action from President Trump. We obviously didn't hear it then. When you met with the former president, did you ask him to take responsibility? Did he take responsibility?
Well, Jonathan, I was in Florida doing some fundraising throughout a number of parts of Florida. I ended up at Mar-a-Lago, and the president reached out, and we visited. I hadn't seen him since he had left the White House, and it was actually good to catch up with him. I noticed he was a lot more relaxed than his 4 years in the White House. He still cares a lot about this country and the direction of our country. But, you know, it was a conversation more about how he's doing now and what he's planning on doing and how his family is doing.
But wait a minute. I mean, he hasn't taken responsibility. You heard Kevin McCarthy say, I mean, do you agree with what Kevin McCarthy said there, that the president must take responsibility, that the facts demand that he take responsibility for what happened on January 6th?
Well, first of all, I wrote a Wall Street Journal editorial about where I think the responsibility lays for January 6th, and surely there's a lot of blame to go around, but at the end of the day, the people who stormed the Capitol on January 6th, it was a disgrace, and they need to be held accountable. And in fact, over 180 have already been arrested, and I know the FBI is working to root out every person who broke into the Capitol, who attacked police. There's no
that's obvious. I'm asking about Donald Trump's role in this. You heard, again, Kevin McCarthy. Do you agree with what he said? That he bears responsibility for what happened,
Well, again, you can go back and look at the impeachment trial, the second impeachment trial. It seems like all they've done since the day he walked into office was try to impeach him. But again, when you look at that trial, they ran a clip of pretty much every United States senator who voted to impeach President Trump, who talked about things like go and fight like hell and other things like that.
So you're saying he doesn't bear responsibility?
When you look at President, when you look, President Trump has denounced what happened. And I think everybody should have been unequivocal in their denouncing of what happened, not only on January 6th, but during the summer when they were burning down cities, shooting cops, beating people in the streets. You saw the left denouncing January 6th. As we did, they didn't denounce what happened during the summer. So let's be across the board and saying anybody who resorts to violence to settle political disputes, there's no place for that in America, and it should be disputed unequivocally.
Let's also be clear, then President Donald Trump did not denounce what happened on January 6th, But clear this up for me. Joe Biden won the election. He is the legitimate president of the United States. The election was not stolen, correct?
Look, Joe Biden's the president. There were a few states that did not follow their state laws. That's really the dispute that you've seen continue on. And look, if you're Joe Biden, you probably want to keep talking about impeachment and anything other than the fact that he's killed millions of American energy jobs, that he continues they just signed the Paris Accord. It's going to kill manufacturing jobs in America. But at the end of the day, when you look at where we are in this country, either we're going to address the problems that happened with the election that millions of people are still concerned about. The Constitution says state legislatures set the rules for elections. That didn't happen in a few states. And so going forward, look, Joe Biden's the president. But does he towards what people are angry about?
But Congressman, I know Joe Biden's the president. He lives at the White House. I asked you, is he the legitimate president of the United States, and do you concede that this election was not stolen? Very simple question. Please just answer it.
Once the electors are counted, yes, he's the legitimate president. But if you're going to ignore the fact that there were states that did not follow their own state legislatively set laws, that's the issue at heart that millions of people still are not happy with and don't want to see happen again. You know, look, you can rehash the election from 2020 all day long, but there are people concerned about what the next election is going to look like. Are we going to finally get back to the way the rule of law works? And I think that's the biggest frustration many people have is those states that didn't follow the law, are they going to keep doing that in the future? Or are we going to finally get back to what the Constitution calls out for electing our leaders?
All right, Congressman Steve Scalise, thank you for joining us on This Week. Appreciate it. Up next, the roundtable on the latest, with the latest on those scandals involving Ted Cruz and Governor Andrew Cuomo.